Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
Trap the Viking in a cage, as you cannot trap him in a top lane.
Is he just?
He is just he's ghosting. He's ghosting. We're killing him right now, as he'll land the undertow and down goes Faker. There is nowhere he can go. He knew he couldn't flash. Vikla almost dies for it and has to sacrifice his flash, but that's first. Yeah, no, he needs to be playing Brolaf actually, but he doesn't. Yep, Sobro just calling out the timings. Says we got him. Man, this guy's, he's got some vibes. He is helping out, as now we've got to dive towards the bottom side of the map. That bailout is not happening, as Kellen will go down. It is a 1-for-1 sacrifice, as Ona will come on over and catch this wave. But Gumayushi, he's not going to be getting the experience for that. Still having a great time in this lane, as we can see.
Yeah, Olaf's his base stats are...
Not bad. Not bad. Does have a decent amount of being able to stay alive as well in the kit, although it's not really working against a bunch of ghouls. The Morning Mist may need to be used here, as, yep, that's just a solo kill for Doran. So
that's challengers, baby!
And Chronic, and so he goes back and he buys himself a Phage, teleports towards that top side of the map. And Faker putting on some pressure here in the mid lane as well, as Vikla may just die as the Arcane Storm comes through. Faker is going to get killed by Tibbers, because Tibbers gets real mad after Annie goes down. So a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane, as I guess it actually works out for BNK, because
actually looking great outside of, you know, Sobro getting solo killed.
I mean,
that part was...
When it comes to, like, Olaf play, I think getting solo killed so that it's a reference to Iron Maiden, I just feel like that'd be metal.
It would be cool.
She's not, though, as we can see here. Doran is now in a little bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The reckless swing, there's the shot. This is exactly how Olaf wants to play the game, and that is killing you and dying.
That's peak right there.
I don't know if it's good for Sobro, but he is doing stuff that he wants to do. As all right, True Shot Barrage is going to soften up these Void Grubs. Carry is going in. Pop Blossom's coming down as well, though the Fate's Call needs to be invested. My God, those Tangle Barbs were so good. As now Vikla is going to try and take down Gumayushi, but he gets bailed out of that one.
Yeah.
Ona down to 100 health, and Faker is looking to clean this one up. Kellen, not a whole lot he can do as well. We're going to have a look at this replay first, though, as Sobro does that thing where he says, I'm going to run at you and hit you with axes and stuff, and then I'm dead.
If he had mana...
Ona is playing super far up. Some aggressive play out of the man, as the Crab going to move back towards T1.
They're about to be a member up. I don't know about this for BNK.
A little bit dicey here as the Maiden comes down. Doran gets involved a little bit early, though, as now the Paranoia comes in. They look to just get rid of this Xin Zhao as quickly as possible, and Wind doesn't have time to become lightning because he's dead. Kellen now doing his very best to survive, but he's going to get smoked down where he stands, and it's a double kill for Ona. Another one going over to Doran as he takes down Diablo. And it is going from bad to worse, as yes, Ragnarok doesn't get you out of the ghoulie wall, as it turns out. And so Sobro is...
just gonna die?
Possibly just dead. Yeah, the Morning Mist is gonna be able to slow him down. And there is the kill onto the Olaf. And man, it was such a great start for BNK.
Isn't that just the worst matchup imaginable? Because like you don't get to trade, you don't have range, and they've had either Carrier or Ona just continuously hovering.
I would say that Faker is in trouble, but he's not. True Shot Barrage is going to snag him, but there's the Paranoia. Vikla may be in trouble, but that is...
Turn?
Yeah, the turn is going to come on through here, as Ona taking a lot of damage. Pop Blossom holds him in place. He does get a kill before that even happens, though, as the bailout not quite able to work here, as the ghoulie wall also not quite happening. And there's Sobro, ladies and gentlemen. It's the double, and now Diablo trying to get amongst it. Faker throws down the gravity field.
It's good, no? If you're Nocturne?
I mean, yeah, it does make some sense, but, you know, Stride Break is a pretty powerful item if you can get in amongst it, as Vikla is now dead, ladies and gentlemen. Doran is going to just allow his Maiden to kill him. Look at this! It's an NPC battle in the bottom lane, But the NPC is now annoying. Carrier continuing to find these handshakes.
Well, the poke, they're playing for...
It's really smart from T1. They're just trying to create some space here as they go in onto Owner, and the Pop Blossom finds everyone! The bailout comes down yet again. They do kill the Nico, though, and so Owner stays alive for a long time into the backline. Goes the Olaf, but he's unable to get on top of Gumayushi. He uses those summoner spells so beautifully. And I was about to say T1 just had the positional advantage around that mid lane, and they utilize it so beautifully to just say no to BNK. They're going to look for even an inner turret off the back end of this as well. Oh man, I feel like they took so much from BNK just going for a desperation engage.
Killing Owner is nice, but that's not really what the goal of the composition is.
Like, you can take the Doran out of the build, you can't take him off the Rift. He will still just go for the team fights. And he's finding it once again. Carrier up here alongside him. Let's see whether Doran and the Maiden can survive as the bailout does come in. The health bar is not going to quite be low enough, though, as Diablo gets close, to be perfectly honest. Owner on the cross map is going to be taking the second dragon for T1, as the Rift Herald does deal with this top outer turret. Still actually a bit of a help here for BNK. Outside of the fact that they lose the dragon, they may be able to get another charge. As you can see here, they do manage to collect it, so half health on the inner turret. Top lane, still, they're just not going to go for it. They don't have the confidence, and the Arakan just going to go over to T1.
Was a little worried when I saw that TP, but Carrier ensures, together with Owner, that operation make sure Doran doesn't get instantly blown up is a success.
Considering going to be without a Callista. That being said, he is actually taking the Wolves instead. Diablo trying to do it one more time as Faker. If at first or second you don't succeed, try again. And unfortunately, don't try again, because it never really works here, ladies and gentlemen. Owner, though, is going low. Carrier bails himself out, but it's not quite going to work, as it's a 1-for-1 trade. Vikla, unfortunately, just doesn't have the health bar to survive in these fights. And Doran is just still taking the base.
It's still kind of a window. Oh, they're not going to go for... I thought they were going to actually go for Dragon. There's no TPs. I think they could have. Instead, they're looking for the collapse onto Doran, who is going to trade his life for an inhib, which I think you're not too sad about. If you can turn it into Dragon.
Well, let's see what he can actually find here, as he's going to flash. There's a blast cone.
Never mind.
Never mind. A-okay.
Really felt like they could have gotten him from more angles and probably killed him. I feel like they always go out in style. They do go out a lot because they're 5 and 9.
And it's not even necessarily in style, but it is on their own terms. That is definitely a fact. That's all right. Dragon going to be secured. That is soul point going to get taken down by.
He did get his revenge.
He did. The revenge of the Merc Wolf. As all right, Vikla, let's do it. Doran doesn't get stunned though, and he just wanders out of range. He places Sobero in a circle, and now he's just looking to kill him. There he goes. Vikla now in a bit of, not a bit of trouble. He's dead. Yeah, Doran is way too large. Now T1 should be able to take themselves a Baron, because Doran just like 1v2 double kills.
He's going to end the game.
Yeah, all that.
He's going to Raptor, can steal.
Yeah, does it matter though is the question. The smite is not even required because the rend is what secures it. Down goes this Xin Zhao, and Kellen in this side lane will not be able to do anything to Olaf. Yeah, Diablo is going to get back to base, but I think a lot of him wishes he didn't. As, yeah, he's on the fountain, but the Maiden does not care about your fountain. And Doran doesn't care about your Nexus. He's going to kill that, and T1...